But I need to go back to what Takoa said about the grief. You gotta, when it's like Auntie said, if it's on the ground, when it's on the ground, you gotta sit in it while it's on the ground. You gotta feel that thing. You gotta go through the emotions of it. I don't care. You heard, y'all might name it now, y'all kind of young. One last cry. Come on. We're gonna get one more cry on this thing. We're gonna get one more cry. And then it's over. I'm not crying about this another day.
That's right.
I know I did, okay, God, I messed up. I should have did this. Forgive me. If you want me to tell them I'm sorry, let me know and I'll tell them I'm sorry, but I'm not staying there. I refuse to be held in bondage to somebody's opinions or their thoughts concerning me. So I'm gonna forgive me. Susan, forgive me. And I'm free. Now if you still bow, you just bow.
That's right.
That's you. But I got to make sure I am free. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna feel the grief of the lost relationship. When Joy lost that relationship, she grieved. She was hurt. Because it was 20 years.
Yeah.
She was hurt. But guess what? She had to feel the hurt of it. So that now she knows what that feels like and she will never go there again.
That's good.
If you don't recognize it, feel it, you won't even see it when it's coming back again with the next person. You're going to end up in a cycle. And God doesn't want you in a cycle. So he wants you to feel it, deal with it, then move.
That's good. That's good. I want to add. That was so good.
That was real good.
I want to add. We have created this coping mechanism within us that I don't want to deal with the emotion of it. I don't want to feel the pain of it because sometimes the pain is too unbearable. I mean, let's just be honest. Pain is painful.
It is.
Pain is painful.
It is.
But just like you mentioned, scheduling the me time where you can grieve a thing.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it's hard to grieve when you gotta go to your children's baseball game.
Yep.
You on the bleachers, you like, what's wrong with me? You know? Schedule it.
Yeah.
Schedule it. I think that what society has continued to tell not just women, but people in general is that your emotions don't matter. That they're that they're not important.
Secondary.
But I'm sorry. That is so inaccurate. Because my emotions is a trigger. It's telling me something is deeper on the inside that I need to deal with. And if I don't schedule the time, if I don't feel the pain, if I don't go through the grieving process, I will end up back in the cycle.
That's right.
Amen.
All over again.
All over again.
That's right.
You're right.
And I want to add and schedule some therapy.
Come on.
Yeah, therapy.
I believe in therapy. I go to therapy, okay? Because church folk be churching, you know, and all of that.
She said Jesus plus therapy, right?
That's my motto. Because a therapist will help you get in tune with your emotions, will help you understand the why behind it, and will also release you from it. I believe in therapy. Our culture doesn't necessarily promote therapy. I do. At our church, I promise you'll have church and therapy. Because you're not just finna dump that stuff on me. Come on, somebody. And expect me to pray you through. Oh, I'm going to pray, but you're going to get some therapy too. Come on. Therapy, deliverance. How about that? But we're going to work together as a team, you know? There are people in our church, I say, okay, I'm going to be your pastor. I'm going to help you with the spiritual side, but you're going to go to therapy and they're going to help you with that side. Because that's important. I recognize I don't have the tools that a therapist has to help you with your mama issues. But you need help so you can stop projecting your mama issues on me.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
There you go.
So go to therapy.
Yeah.
I got some recommendations.
Yeah.
I got a number. They're good, y'all.
I was going to say, and the thing about the relationship when it ends, the pain, because I will say I am guilty of this. I learned how to numb myself.
We can do that, baby.
I learned how to numb myself to pain because it's like I don't have time to be in this pain. I gotta, like you said, you gotta do this and do it. But you learn later on in life when all of a sudden you're sitting and somebody says something. I was at an event, and a girl was up there, and she was just talking about her dad and how all that he did. Here I am sitting in this event, crying like a baby.
Wow, it was a trigger.
It was a trigger.
Yeah.
It was a trigger. And so you learn, and I said, I anesthetized myself. I gave, it was like, what they do when you in pain, you get, yeah. So I don't have to feel this. But the more, in y'all, I'm in, I don't know what quarter I'm in, but I'm in the third quarter maybe. But anyway, God started to show me it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And I realized with me being able now to feel what I feel, because what I realized when I started to talk about it, I would tear up. That was a trigger.
Yeah.
That was something that was triggering in me. And so feel what you feel. And one of the things I learned about feeling what I feel, I'm becoming more aware, is that I don't need anybody else to feel it.
Come on.
This is what I feel. Okay. This is how I feel about the situation. Okay. You don't have to be, because guess what? You have not walked in my shoes. Okay. So you don't know. So feel what you feel. Don't numb yourself. If anything, don't numb yourself to your pain.
That's good.
But like you said, we don't want to sit in it, and we don't want to stay in it, because you find being around some people, they 20 years later, they talking about the same, and it's like, okay, it's time to move. It's time to move to another place now. Okay. And like you said, if you can't 20 years later and you definitely, there's no doubt, you need to see a therapist, okay? No doubt about it. Because you're not living and fulfilling the purpose that God has for your life, okay? So deal with that pain.
Because it turns into what's called arrested development. You literally stop growing at that place right there. You keep going, but that place, you go around it, and it's still right there.
Right there.
So therefore, as Auntie said, something happens. They ain't even talking to you. You over here crying. You over here falling out because that place came back up.
That's right.
That's why we have to deal with it. Because when I deal with this, I'm not coming back here no more. It's done.
Done deal.
I'm the type of person when if something's going on, I'm gonna say everything I need to say. I communicate very well. I'm gonna say everything that I have to say. I'm sorry if you don't communicate very well. I'm gonna say, don't come back to me, but I got this. We already talked about that. You're not finna hold me in bondage. You're not finna lock me up because you haven't moved beyond. You made a choice not to move beyond that place. So you gotta deal with it. You gotta deal with it.
Dealing with it is also self-care.
It is.
Self-care is not just our massages or our walks by ourselves. Self-care, really at the heart of it, is when you really take care of you. Take care of your mental, your spiritual, your emotional. That is self-care. Because you really can't enjoy the other things if inside, what do they say when they try to numb, or you'll have this type of reactionary impulsive buying or eating or any other vices. Sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're not, but it's just a filler, and that filler doesn't last. But when you can take care of yourself, I'll tell you one thing that I did when I retired from the military, and it is hard for a woman to be in the military. It is hard because the expectation is very great. Very great. Mentally it's hard, physically it's hard, but it's doable. And we excel and we succeed. But there are many men and women, when they come out of the military, they are done with it. They'll take their flag and put it in the garage. Don't want to see it. And sometimes, especially for me, there might have been something that happened towards the end of my career, and I was ready to just wash my hands. And I said, wait a minute.
Right.
I'm not going to let that one instance define the last 20 years.
Exactly.
I have served my country and served it well. I don't care what they say, what they think that I did. So what did I do after I had my grieving for different situations that went on? I had a party. You better learn to celebrate seasons.
That's right.
Celebrate seasons. Why do we have engagement parties and baby showers and bachelorette parties? Sometimes they even have divorce parties.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's okay. You better celebrate. It is okay.
That's it.
Celebrate. After you have grieved and cried, call your girlfriends, whoever. Okay, I'm over it. Let's go live life.
That's right.
And enjoy and find and rediscover who we are. That's also how we find our balance, because you still carrying this here. How are you going to move into this here? Something got to drop off. I need to make this thing even. And how am I going to do that unless I take time to discover all the things and be grateful for all the things that I have going on in my life? Like really take an inventory. What all do I have going on in my life? Is there anything going on in my life that is no longer serving me? Is there anything that's no longer serving me, but I still have it? How many do spring cleaning, or at least try to?
Attempt.
You see the
It ain't going this one.
I have even learned to ask for help when it comes to decluttering.
I'm good.
I got all these kids and all these baby clothes. I need help. Somebody come get these clothes and these toys. But in order for me to ask for help with my decluttering, I have to be vulnerable. I have to let somebody see my stuff.
That's good.
And the true ones, they're not going to ask me, why you still got that?
Come on. Come on.
They're just going to say, this is no longer serving. Okay, we're going to put this in this pile, and we're going to get rid of it. And one of those people is in the room. I'm not going to look at her because she helps me. Get rid of that stuff. Y'all get rid of that stuff. I mean that figuratively.
That's good.
Get rid of that stuff. Because then what happens? Sometimes you take that stuff to your girlfriends and they don't want to deal with that. Will they help you deal with it? Yes, but they don't want to. We still talk about that same.
Right. Girl.
Ma said we're not going to talk about it, and she is serious when she said we're not talking about it anymore. And you're like, man, I forgot. What's the next time I'm going to take notes? Because she said she's done.
Done. Yeah.
Listen, y'all. I hope that in this last hour, you have heard, received, been able to evaluate where you are when it comes to your life, your family, and how to balance. There's going to be a continuation to this conversation with questions and answers. So make sure that you stay tuned to A Place for Joy, the podcast, the Girlfriend Hour, because part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is coming. And I appreciate you so much for watching.